Hello guys, I'm here with my female butter black pewter, and she's looking really good right now. I think she might, it's a little hard to tell, she may be getting ready to shed, but other than that, I think her color has held pretty well, even though she's now getting somewhat older. Um, she's pretty much held on to her pattern. I think she's browned out maybe a little bit on the top near the dorsal stripe. And my pastel possible blade clown, um, he has pretty much almost doubled in size since I got him. And he's looking good. Now he is browning out a little bit. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was, when certain combos of snakes, especially ones that have pastel, they brown out a little bit as they get older. It's really important then to add some sort of enhancer gene. And I've been thinking a lot about that and, trying to look at different enhancer genes to decide which one to go with. I recently put some money down on a new female that is to breed to my pastel clown, and if everything turns out like I think, I have a feeling that it's going to be an excellent pairing and hopefully excellent results. That's a few years in the making, since the female is going to take a few years to get up to size, but I'm really excited about it. And so stay tuned and look for an unboxing sometime in early October. That's when I'm going to be making the final payment and getting her shipped. But I'm really excited about that new snake coming, and I may already have a name picked out for her that fits her coloring. I don't want to tell you that, otherwise I'd spoil the surprise. But you'll see what she is in early October. And my rat breeding operation has been going pretty well. It started off kind of rocky, but once I got the rats kind of fixed up, and got them to the age where they could breed, I got 5 litters. They're doing really well. I got all kinds of colors. I got everything from agouti to black and whites, some that are sort of, I guess the best description is sort of an apricot color. Those are really pretty. And I joined a Georgia Rat Breeders Facebook group because it occurred to me that, I could probably use some for feeders, but also sell some to make some extra money as pets, to make some extra money to reinvest back into my hobby for the snakes, and and also some for the upkeep of the rats. I've been continuing to feed them a varied diet, and that seems to be serving really well. Their coats are very shiny, they're very robust, and I'm handling them regularly, pretty much raising them as if they're to be pets, so that way I can go either way with the rats. I can either sell some of them as pets, or use others that I need for my snakes as feeders. And hopefully at some point I want to be able to not only package my own frozen thawed, but possibly sell some frozen thawed locally here in the Atlanta area, because it doesn't seem like there are a lot of people doing that. A lot of people I guess they might get some rats, either online, or they go to Repticon, or they just sort of get them from random places. But I think it would probably be another good sideline for me to produce some additional frozen thawed packaged like they do from the big companies, and sell it to people locally who need that for their snakes. And I think it would be convenient for them too, because then they could just pick it up and not have to deal with the shipping and the cost of dry ice and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hopeful about that too. Things seem to be really shaping up as time goes on. My collection is still small, and I'm being very selective, but I'm sort of approaching it in a different way than a lot of people do. I'm sort of starting off, at a, I guess, more advanced level, rather than getting a lot of 1 or 2 gene snakes. I've just sort of waited and been very patient. It's been hard because when you see these beautiful ball pythons everywhere, you just want all of them. I know you know how that is. But I've just been very selective and trying to get the most bang for my buck. And I'm hoping that in the end that'll pay off. I also wanted to bring up something. In watching other people's videos, I came across a channel called the Iguana Man, and this guy actually has come up with a very good solution to the invasive species in the Everglades in Florida. Not so much with snakes, but having to do with the number of iguanas. There are a huge number of green iguanas, and some of them are breeding with other species of iguanas too there in Florida. And he started out just sort of as a sport, catching them. He uses a lasso method with a fishing pole in order to catch them. And I had suggested to him, I said, some of these iguanas would make good pets. How about creating something where you could adopt them out as pets to people? And I said that would help the iguanas. They'd do much better in captivity than they would, scrounging around trying to find food in the Everglades, and possibly, getting diseases and that kind of stuff. And at first he wasn't quite sure, whether he wanted to do that, but he ended up taking my suggestion, and he decided to create an iguana farm. And I thought that was a brilliant, way to go. And then beyond that, he thought about possible packaging and production of the iguana meat. Apparently, in some countries, it's very common to eat iguana and also iguana eggs. And some of the, some Hispanic countries, I know El Salvador and some of the other countries, it's customary to eat iguana as meat. And it's apparently very nutritious. And I thought, well, that's really a good idea, because, when you think about how many iguanas there are, and then some of them may be suitable as pets, but some of them really might not be. Some of the older ones might be a lot more difficult to tame and might not really be suitable as pets. And I thought, well, that's a really good idea. And, being Native American, I don't really relish the idea of killing animals, but I know that it's necessary for life. And if it's a matter of, a matter of producing them to eat, then I think that's a good idea. And it may be a good solution to the overpopulation problem in Florida. Because I know if you watch his videos, you'll see that they're just everywhere. I mean, you can go to some type of an area where there's kind of an open space, especially near water, and you'll see, 5 or 6 or 8, in the grass, just sunning themselves. And so, he does a lot of videos about, I think he does animal removal. I don't know if he does that as a volunteer or if he gets paid for that, but a lot of people now call him when they have too many iguanas in the area and they're pooping in their place of business and that kind of stuff, and he comes and removes them for them. He also has a few videos actually on how to go ahead and prepare iguana meat, for eating. I was thinking about the fact that could also be something good to donate to people who are hungry. And apparently it's really not bad, and it may actually be somewhat tasty. I saw a few videos about that where they were saying that it tastes somewhere between chicken and maybe lamb, something like that, lamb or goat, I think. There are a number of recipes where you make it with sauce. In fact, my aide is from El Salvador, and she talks about how the eggs are often eaten as a medicinal thing. She didn't know exactly what they were for, but that apparently in El Salvador it's very common to give people who are sick iguana eggs to eat, and that is supposed to have health benefits. I'll provide the links in my description so you can go check out this guy's channel. I think it's a really clever idea because nobody else really that I've come across has thought of doing something like this, and I thought it was really a novel idea. So also there's another guy that I've been following named Chris Hardwick, who he has ball pythons. He breeds a lot of bamboos, and he has acquired quite a number of scaleless heads. He had a really good season this year, and I think he got about 6 baby scaleless heads out of his breeding. He also lives on a farm, and he breeds cattle. He has a number of other animals. He has a dog that had puppies. I think most of them are sold, if not all of them now. But he's very interesting to watch. And I don't see him get a lot of shout-outs, so I wanted to make a point of giving him one in this video and having you all check him out. If you're not already subscribed to him, I would definitely recommend it. If you like snakes, he has a lot of very insightful videos where he talks about strategy of breeding. You don't hear a whole lot of people doing that. He goes into detail about how to pick your pairings and things like that. He also, if you're interested in a lot of different kinds of animals, he talks about his cows and how he cares for them. Also about the business aspect of farming and breeding different animals. I just wanted to do this update. I haven't done a video in a while. Let you know about some of these new things that I've recently come across. And hopefully you will get something out of this, and stay tuned for the unboxing in October. I'm really excited about this new girl.